Some letters, you find 'em, and you feel you should have left 'em buried. This one was folded 6 times, soaked through, smelled like river water. The 6th letter. Jack and I were outside that night. First time he let me stay by the fire past midnight. The sky was heavy, and the river, nearly a kilometer away, sounded like it was right next to us. Hey, Jack, this one feels different. You ever hear about these fishermen from Bell's Crossing?
Bell's Crossing. That's where the water don't reflect nothing. Should have burned that one, boy.
They talk about eyes in the river, people being dragged under.
Long before the highway paved it over, Bell's was already a place that swallowed folks who stared too deep.
You saying there's something alive in that river?
Whether there is or ain't, you best ask the ones who came back, if anyone came back. Go on, hand me that letter, but hold it tight. This one, don't like being told.
I'm writing this with shaking hands, not from fear, but from a cold that hasn't left me since that night on the river. Bell's Crossing, Tuesday, early morning. The fog was thick, like curdled milk, the kind that licks your face every time you breathe in. Micah and I were out on the boat, like always. The water was so still, it looked like stretched glass. Not a mosquito in the air, not a single leaf dared break the silence. But the feeling was that the whole world was holding its breath, like something just beneath the surface was waiting. The current there is usually slow, but that night it felt like it was watching. My name is Caleb Foster, 32 years old, been fishing since I was 11. My brother Micah was born 3 summers after me. We grew up on the riverbank, learned to swim before we could walk straight. Our old man used to say the river gives and takes, depending on its mood. But we always knew how to read it. Micah was the quiet one, saw things in the water I didn't, said the fish would wink at him, said some rocks didn't like to be touched. Kid stuff, I thought, until he started predicting where the fish would be. To the second, I was the skeptic. Always figured a river's just a river. Fish are dumb. Luck is luck. But that week, luck ran out, and the river showed us it don't like being ignored. It was the 4th night when things started to twist. The sky was thick, no stars, just that kind of black that weighs on your shoulders. We launched the boat in the same spot as always, right by the willow bend. Micah didn't say a word, didn't even tie his lines properly. Eyes locked on the water, then he nudged me. That light elbow, the one he used when he spotted a big eel or a school moving. Eyes, he said. He pointed. 2 amber dots, human-sized, about 10 feet from the boat, just beneath the surface. They didn't move. No bubbles. No blink. They were here last night, too, he whispered. I grabbed the flashlight, swung it over the water, but the moment the beam touched, nothing. No glow, no fish, no reflection, just gone, like they'd never been there. Micah didn't blink, just murmured, they're closer now. I went home with my nerves shot, but it was the next day, broad daylight, when I found the tracks, on the far bank, deep grooves, in the mud, 2 heel drags, pulled backward, fingernail scrapes, like someone tried not to go, and at the end of the trail, water, still, silent. There was a cap stuck in a root, old, dirty, name written in faded marker, Jonah. We didn't know any Jonah. Micah wanted to go back the next night, said she wanted to be heard. I thought he was losing it, but something in those drag marks was pulling me back too. We brought headlamps, Dad's old rifle, and a pouch of rock salt, Mom's superstition. The water was darker than I'd ever seen it. No frogs, no bugs, just the groaning of the trees and our breath. Micah didn't speak, but his eyes, they were searching for something or someone. When we swept the lights across the surface, the eyes were there. This time, more of them. 8. Maybe 10 pairs, arranged in a circle, like they were surrounding the boat, just hovering, watching. That's when I heard it, not with my ears, in my head, a voice, wet, dragging, whispering my name from the inside. Caleb. Caleb. I thought it was Micah, but he wasn't moving, eyes wide, tears falling, not blinking. She wants to speak to you, he said, like someone had put the words in his mouth. The water began to bubble, the boat swayed, and time just stopped. It all happened in seconds, or hours, I don't know anymore. Micah stood up, slow, like he was following an order. The eyes were still there, but now, all of them were watching him. He said, she says you don't listen. And then he jumped, no hesitation, like he had an appointment. The sound of his body hitting the water was soft, like tossing a pebble. I screamed, crawled to the edge of the boat, headlamp shaking. All I saw was the swirl. That's it. But when I reached for him, I felt something. Not hands pulling, hands pushing him down. The water closed over him slowly, silently, like nothing had ever broken the surface. I stayed there, kneeling in the boat, shaking. The rifle slipped to the floor. The light went out, and the voice stayed. It said, he listened. Now, you will too. I came back alone. Don't remember how. The boat's engine was off, but the river brought me home, like it was returning something it never asked for. Got home soaked to the bone, Tried to tell someone, but no one listened. They said Micah just left, that the police would look into it. But I know, if I fog up the bathroom mirror, I can see the eyes behind my shoulder. Sometimes, in the bottom of a glass of water, reflections that aren't mine. And the voice, it never stops. Even now, as I write this, it whispers, slow, patient, like it's got all the time in the world. Caleb, I thought I could hide, stay away from everything, but it found the faucets, the sink drain, the rainwater tapping on the roof. It got, and now I'm hearing it too.
The river takes, but sometimes what it takes keeps watching back. Micah was the last name written down, but Bell's Crossing, it's already got a graveyard with no headstones.
You think he was hallucinating? Sleep deprivation, river gas. There are documented cases of that near stagnant waters.
There are. And there's fish that dream about what they were before they were fish. But this ain't about gas.
Then what are the eyes? Animals? Spirits? Micah jumped. Caleb lost his mind. What kind of thing does that to two brothers?
Not everything that watches wants to be watched back. There are places where water still remembers what it used to be.
Have you ever heard the voice?
The problem was never the river. It's when the eyes leave it.
They were twins, born the same day, in two towns that never touched. They'd never met, but they wrote letters to each other, with the same thoughts, the same words, sometimes on the same day. Then one of them vanished. No body, no goodbye, and the next letter, it was addressed to himself, signed on a date that hasn't happened yet.